Going back then to Northcote, you played in the 95, 96?
96-7.
96, 97, yeah. What's your memories of that premiership?
Northcote had a wonderful year of cricket. We actually ended up on top of the ladder with a team, a blend of established players, very good bowling attack of David Saker, Adam McGinty, Shannon Waters, who'd come from Rochester, a young left armer called Shane Middleman from Strathmore, and a good batting lineup. Grant Gardner making 1,000 runs for the year, batted beautifully. Darren Berry had come across from Fitzroy Doncaster that just gave us skill and a bit more of the bat, but also that competitive edge too, that we'd made finals the previous 2 years but hadn't quite got beyond semi-final stage. So we were building as a club, a young Adam Smith, competing with Metro again, I can hear. Travis Glowry, players of great promise, but were just starting off. Jesse McGuinness, wonderful. Tim O'Sullivan, who batted beautifully in the final and went on and had a wonderful time captaining St Kilda. So it was a wonderful team. On reflection, it was just a team of great talent that bonded really well. Interestingly, though, I think most people thought that we probably were starting the underdogs in the final against University, who had a very good team. And I can remember they won the toss and put us in on the Albert, on a wicket that had a little bit. And after 32 overs at lunch, we were none for 40.
Right.
So it said, so from the one hand, we'd done well to get through the first session, but runs weren't prolific. And then Jesse McGuinness batting with a broken thumb that I think Merv Hughes had got in the week before. And we got to, I think, 6 for about 170 overnight, and wonderful partnerships the next day. Ended up making 400.
Wow.
Darren Berry 100, batted beautifully. Tim O'Sullivan 40, Adam McGinty 60. Shane Middleman might have got 40. And we bowled them out for 120.
Wow.
Wonderful game of cricket.
Phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Now, you played on for another year or two after that?
One more year.
One more year? Yeah. By this stage, you're teaching out at Xavier?
I came to Xavier after my cricket had just finished. I had taught at St Bernard's Essendon,
Right.
and then Therry College, Broadmeadows, and that became Penola Catholic College, Glenroy and Broadmeadows.
Yeah. So you've been at Xavier a hell of a long time, haven't you? 20.
I have since '99, so it's been a while. Yeah.
Fantastic. What do you teach there, Gerard?
Well, at the moment, I'm in charge of the Faith and Service program at the school. So I'm involved in the school liturgies and the masses, the retreat program, but also the service. So involved in placing students into areas where they can contribute to work to the community. So aged care, St Mary's House of Welcome in Fitzroy, RecLink sporting program. So there's a lot of areas that we're getting into. The last 2 years have been tough because of COVID, so we've been a bit limited, but we're excited about what might lay ahead in the next year or two.
Great school, produce some great sporting people over a long period.
Really wonderful school. I feel really privileged to have the honour to teach there. We work hard there. Our days are not just Monday to Friday. We're involved in weekend sport, but a great school environment. Really enjoyed the staff I teach with. Really enjoy the students there too. The boys have been great. They're right, with a lot of pride connected to the school. A lot of fantastic kids that have gone through. Some wonderful sportsmen. But it's just a good environment to be involved in, from sporting, from the spiritual side, the academic. Great families, great connection to families, and the old boys have been, a wonderful organisation. So even though I'm not an old boy, I sort of feel maybe just 3 years of service, there's certainly a connection to the school.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And family, you still live in the area?
I do.
Yeah, so you've been in the area for most of your life, but you've got a couple of girls?
3 girls. 3 girls. My wife and I married and first lived in Reservoir, and I grew up in Reservoir, and we've moved to Preston in the last 20 years or so.
Right.
Yeah.
The girls?
Ranging from 26 to 20.
Right.
Yeah. Oldest teaching, just started teaching, and our middle two, Catherine's teaching, Celia is completing science and mathematics at Melbourne Uni, and our youngest daughter Sophia is doing biomedicine at Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And we can't close off without you telling us about the marathon that you ran. Tell us a little bit about that. You ran that roughly when?
2003. I reconnected with a great mate of mine, Rowan, who just returned from Perth, and we met in May for half an hour over running along the Yarra Trail in Heidelberg, and we met every Sunday, and we increased that by 5 minutes every week, getting to a point that by September we were running 32 kilometres. But amazingly, we were, I think, the only 2 people ever to run marathons and not lose weight. We kept our weight right through, so I might say something about our eating habits. But loved it, Lee, and it's been a one-off, but a great experience. Yeah, and a lot like, as we've chatted, a lot of parallels with running a marathon and playing a game of cricket, whether it be in the field or with the bat in hand. Yeah,
that's right. Yes. Contest with yourself and your mind, and believing in yourself, and calmness. You mentioned some calmness when you batted, when we were talking earlier. What was your secret around that?
Well, we chatted earlier, Lee, that batting affects us in different ways. I used to know, watching on at Preston, and to a certain extent at Northcote, but going into bat, before you are batting and you're watching the previous partnership, watching side on is very hard to actually get a sense of what the bowler might be doing, and you've sort of got your own ideas of how the wicket might be playing, and a lot of thoughts go through your head prior to batting. And I think one of the great opportunities that came from opening the batting was the fact that almost the immediacy of the batting, that the toss takes place, and within 10 minutes you're going to be at the crease. And I think that probably worked as an advantage for me, the being able to be contained, not getting too far ahead of myself, and preparing. But each year I would meet one of my old physical education lecturers, Neil Barras, at Phillip Institute of Technology, and we'd chat about cricket. Each September we'd sit down and we'd meet for an hour, and it was just a wonderful time just to reconnect and talk about life, talk about cricket. And I can remember one year just sharing thoughts to Neil about the way that nerves play out in the body, how physically we get affected by, I suppose, the thinking that's involved in the game, and needing to go to the toilet, having the sweaty palms, prior to batting, the heart racing a bit, and great advice from Neil was that, whereas I thought there might have been something not quite right with myself, the way my body would react that way, him just saying to me, no, it's just the way your body prepares to undertake the tasks that lie ahead. Don't fight against it. That's embrace it. That's your body's way of adjusting to the tempo of what's going to be taking place. And I remember him saying to me, "You're a calm fella. You've got the clarity. Just embrace that, and you'll find that will be there'll be a real comfort in that,
Yeah.
and wonderful advice.
Yeah.
So whenever I felt prior to batting that there'd be the need to go to the toilet, putting the pads on, the palms would be sweaty, the heart would be racing a little bit, and then getting the gear on and just sitting, having a few minutes to myself in the rooms, just taking a breath, ready then to the next stage. I'm forever grateful for the advice that was passed on, but for the fact that Neil would have that time to share. And it's those kind of tips that I'm still sharing with players as we go ahead.
A lot of our current players watch this, so they'll be very, very grateful for that sort of advice from somebody who's been successful. Jared, we've run out of time, unfortunately, but it's been an absolute pleasure to converse with you this morning. It's fantastic that you're back involved in the 1860 Club. You're one of the most highly regarded people who's ever come through the club. People talk so highly of you. You're a wonderful person. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Lee, thanks so much indeed. Thank you.
Good on you, Jared.
I was going to say I hope the young fellas playing now realise that oldies like us still take so much interest in the game,
Yes.
and in their performances. And each Saturday night I'll get on the computer and just go through and look at how we go, how the players go. There's a few surnames there I recognise, and probably the next generation of players that I play with. Often when you play the game, you think, we play, and maybe people within the club might know how you're going, whether we're winning or losing, or how individuals are going, but that the players know that certainly a lot of people take interest.
They do.
And we delight when the team does well.
We do.
And feel it for them when the team is going through a tough patch as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you for that. That's
pleasure.